Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon again. I had a lot of stuff done today. All right. I still have to. This is getting old. How this sharing, and it's going to be so much easier in 11 days. It is quite annoying. And of course, every time I go live, it just kind of reminds me of the bullshit people will try and pull just to look good. God. Let's go ahead and get rid of this. All right. I need to be seeing the Office of Behavioral Health up there right now. The way I see it, is the Office of Behavioral Health has no say-so. No say-so. No. But we're going to talk about unconditional love. Oh, yes, we are. I wonder if the big book has anything to say on it. Let's find out. A big book. Unconditional love. What does the big book say about love? No, that's not what I asked. No. Unconditional love. Okay. Now. So it doesn't really say unconditional love in the big book, does it? No. It's more of a newfangled word. It is. So just wait for that 3-minute mark. I'll do introductions and kind of get started. I won't kind of, but I will get started. Silkworth.net has nothing to do with it. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to the Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Mayor. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. I'm working on having a reading with it too, because brotherly love has to do with step 8. So we're going to get into some step 8 and 9. Okay. But I always like to do a little more digging to give us more information, because I love the big book in 12 by 12, but it says on 164, we realize we know only a little. God will disclose more to you and to us. See to it that your relationship with him is right, and great events will come to pass for you and countless others. All right. Now, I don't want them to change it to the plain English big book because I have it all memorized. Assholes. All right. Unconditional love is a type of love that is given freely without conditions or limitations and without expecting anything in return. It also sometimes called compassionate or agape. Or agape. I don't know what agape means. See, it's okay to admit when you don't know a word. Let's look them up. You guys probably know what it means, but I don't. AFG. It's probably not in here. Nope. Not in there. So we'll do this a different way. Agape love. Wide open, especially with surprise or wonder. Downs. Okay. So it's more of an action than it is anything else. Here are some characteristics of unconditional love. Love for who they are. And that's really what we do here. Do I give everybody unconditional love? I try. I do. I really try. I don't always do it right, but I try every single time. Unconditional love is about loving someone for who they are, not based on what they do for you. Right? So when we approach a new person, and since we don't really want anything from this person, meeting someone where they are at is unconditional love. It's unconditional love. Camera was going out of focus there. No expectations. There we are again. Unconditional love is given without any expectation of repayment. Right? Don't we do that as sponsors? We did that as sponsees too. We just didn't know it. We didn't realize what we were doing quite yet until you realize that you're helping your sponsor as much as they are helping you. Yeah. Every relationship is a give and take basis. It's got to be on 50%, right? Now that doesn't mean there's an expectation there, right? I've been forming groups, and I tell people all the time, I don't expect people to show up to everything that I do. I do a lot of different stuff. I mean, this is my second nobody here on just today. So, it is what it is. Can benefit you. Unconditional love can benefit you even though you're not expecting anything in return. Yeah. Yeah. These are called the dividends. These are dividends. These are things that are left over. And unconditional love comes with extra love. It also comes with gratitude. Yeah. Not being grateful, gratitude. Gratitude is a state of being for me. Okay. See, like happiness wasn't really the goal, balance was the goal. Happiness is included in it. And it can be maintained. Unconditional love can be maintained even if a relationship doesn't survive. Yeah. There's plenty of relationships, encounters, people that I've known, people that don't like me. Yeah, you liking me or not liking me is not a basis for my unconditional love. Okay. Now my unconditional love and my love are two different things. If you talk shit about me, if you try and ruin my reputation and you show up at my door and say, hey, Dion, I need help, I'm going to help you. I know. See, my boundary isn't based off of that. I believe that people can change. I changed. I know lots of people that have changed. Thing is, if you call me or you end up at my door, man, something's going on. I'm like a last ditch effort to a lot of people, but that's all right. It can be unhealthy. However, unconditional love can also be unhealthy, damage, and destructive if it exists with no boundaries. Well, that's not unconditional love. So, see, there's something that you need to do before you can provide unconditional love. What does it say on page 164? You can't transmit something you don't have. And if you don't love yourself, you are incapable of unconditional love. You can't do it yet. You can't do it because you won't know. You won't understand love language until you learn how to love yourself. Unconditional love is off the table. Right? Not much different from a self-help book. Self-help book ain't going to do you much good if you don't know how to help yourself. Otherwise, it's just a really good book. Let's go to step 8 for a little bit. Step 8 and 9 are concerned with personal relations. First, we take a look backward and try and discover where we have been at fault. Next, we make a vigorous attempt to repair the damage we have done. And third, having thus cleaned away the debris of the past, we consider with our newfound knowledge of ourselves, we may develop the best possible relations with every human being we know. Yeah, that's a lot. And it's good to say it. Next is we know this is a large order. Okay. One that you're probably never going to be complete. But the thing here is understanding, okay, those bedevilments. I couldn't hold a relationship. I couldn't hold a job, which is those relationships. See, I need to learn how to get along with other people. I need to learn that skill. Now, see, I had kind of been doing things wrong. I expected all of this from everybody else. You know, my wife, my kids, my mother, you know, countless people, right? And I'm not doing that anymore. Now, that doesn't mean that I can't rely on them. When it comes to my wife, I can rely on her. You know, she make mistakes. Sure, she makes mistakes. She's human. I don't give her crap about it. Unless I'm giving her a hard time that day, then I'll give her crap about it. But my wife and I give each other crap a lot. It's fun. It's fun. But then there's some days when, like, I'll give her a hard time, and she's like, I'm like, okay, not today, not today. Today, you need more hugging, and see, it's a different day for her, so I try and give her what she needs. It's my job. And it's not based on what she's going to give me. This is a very large order, is a task which we may perform with increasing skill, but never really finish. Learning how to live in the greatest peace, partnership, and brotherhood with all men and women of whatever description is a moving and fascinating adventure. And some days you're going to piss you up, fuck all. You know, you're going to find out who your friends are, man. There's billions of people out there. Billions. Stop going back to people that have abused you. Don't do that. Right? What did it say? Well, in order to do that, we got to have some healthy boundaries, right? That goes right back to 4 and 5. Okay. Now I'm willing to listen. I'm willing to be open-minded. And I will treat others with respect. But I ain't bound to anybody. There's nobody out there that's better than me. There's nobody out there less than me. Doesn't work that way. Every AA has found that he can make little headway in this new adventure of living until he first backtracks and makes an accurate and unsparing survey of the human wreckage he has left in his wake. He did it in 4 and 5. But we're going to go deeper. As alcoholics, okay, I don't know about the other addictions, but I know as far as alcoholics go, you've always got to take that extra little step, man. You got to take that extra little step. Okay. And the way that we're going to do that, first, we have to see what we were doing wrong. Just like step 1. Okay. Steps 1, 4, and 8 are awareness steps. They're acceptance steps. It means that we're learning about ourselves. Just like there were causes and conditions, right? Fearless and thorough, causes and conditions is step 4. In this one, we're going to make an accurate and unsparing survey. These all mean the same thing. It means we're going to delve. It means we're going to dig in there and figure out where these snakes are at. Because if I can figure out what my snakes are, I can do something about it. But awareness is the first step of everything. Everything. Ask some people some questions. Nobody's here, and I'm curious. All right. Got people for my board. Every AA I did that already. To agree, he's already done this when taking moral inventory, but now is the time has come when he ought to redouble his efforts and see how many people he has hurt and in what ways. See, there's a lot of different ways. There's emotional abuse, there's physical abuse, there's mental abuse, and there's spiritual abuse. Yes, if it can be used for good, it can be abused. Okay. As an alcoholic, I have to realize that I'm an extremist. Billy Joel wrote a whole song about it called Why Do I Go to Extremes? But now, but now as the time has come, he ought to redouble his efforts. I already did that. The reopening of emotional wounds, sometimes old, some perhaps forgotten, and some still painfully festering, will at first look like a purposeless and pointless piece of surgery. But if a willing start has been taken, then a great advantage of doing this will so quickly reveal themselves that the pain will be lessened as one obstacle after another melts away. Now, how is this? What does this have to do with unconditional love? Because the better you know you and the better you love yourself, the more you'll be able to do it for other people. I'll give you a really good example. I was talking to somebody, and I can't go really into particulars because it's not necessarily my story to tell. But they were having a problem with somebody and they were thinking about putting a restraining order on them. Well, this is a person of trust. When a person of trust does that to somebody that has a mental illness like PTSD, it'll exacerbate the problem. And there were some things that I said about what was probably going on with that person that made them change their mind and decide to go a different route. And I was very proud of them, for number one, for seeing that, but for God giving us the real thing. I was proud of us for coming to the right answer. You know, I didn't know if I was right or not, but God gave her some. Right? Okay. All right. Give me just a second here. All right. I'm going to go to the end because I'm at 18 minutes and I kind of feel like wrapping up my day as far as stuff goes. Oh, okay. Having carefully surveyed the whole area of human relations and have decided exactly what personality traits in us injured and disturbed others, we can now commence to ransack memory for the people to whom we have given offense. To put a finger on nearby and most deeply damaged ones shouldn't be too hard. Then, as year by year we walk back through our lives, as far as memory will reach, we shall be bound to construct a long list of people who have, to some extent, been affected. We should, of course, ponder and weigh each instance carefully. We shall want to hold ourselves to the course of admitting things that we have done, meanwhile, forgiving the wrongs done us, fancied or real. We should avoid extreme judgments, both of ourselves and others involved. We must not exaggerate our defects or theirs. A quiet, objective view will be our steadfast aim. Whenever our pencil falters, we can fortify and cheer ourselves by remembering what AA experience in this step has meant to others. It is the beginning of the end of our isolation from our fellows and from God. All right. So, a really good example about all of this is women come into the program and they say, I prefer men. And men come in and they say, I prefer women. And we've got to learn how to get along with the same sex. A lot of us do. I know I did. Like the friends that I'm choosing right now are mostly male because I didn't have enough male influence in my life. Because I get different stuff, right? And there's some things that I go through I'm not comfortable talking about with women. I'm not. I'm not comfortable about talking about it here. No, I wouldn't even talk to my woman therapist about it. But I will talk to my male sponsor. I will talk to my male sponsees. I will talk to another male about it if there's no females around. You know, what are some other things that are unconditional love? Well, if we're judging at any moment about it, it's not unconditional love. Allowing the person to be exactly who they are at that moment is unconditional love. And that even means when they're acting quote unquote crazy or toxic or anything else. Toxic's just the new way of calling somebody crazy. Okay. Calling somebody toxic is name calling. Period. That's just name calling. We got a lot of different ways to say you're crazy. I love your passion. Oh, so tired of hearing that. No, you don't. You don't love my passion. What you're saying is, I don't agree with you, Dion. Okay, just say that. What you're saying is, Dion, you're nuts, and I don't know how to respond. Okay, see, I can go for that. Okay, don't call me nuts. Okay? Only I get to do that. All right. Somebody needs help, so I'm gonna get off here and go help them. They're non-alcoholic, but they have they have given more to this than anybody in the world knows. You hear her voice every day. I love you. Thank you for being here, rewatchers. All my regular people are moving and all this other shit. So, all right. Thank you. I love you. Peace out.